yourselves. Go ahead. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, well, I'll start. My name is Leslie Kivett. I do intake and eligibility with the Developmental Disabilities Administration. I've been working there for nearly 20 years now. And just to introduce DDA, we provide services that support people with developmental disabilities to live in and be a valued part of their community. We strive to help them be as independent as possible and live the lives that they want. And then Kylie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Leslie. That was a great introduction to DDA. And so after Leslie finishes doing her job with the intake and eligibility piece and the services requested, that's where case managers like myself come in and put those services in place for the clients that we support.
All right, thank you. So my understanding, Leslie and Kylie, is that you'd like to run this as a Q&A session. Is that correct?
So maybe we should just go with question and answer.
All right, question and answer period it is. Awesome. So if you are attending tonight, you are welcome to go ahead and unmute your mics at this time to ask questions of the DDA administrators here.
Hi, Mrs. Armstrong. I finally made it into a meeting.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Wonderful. We are here to answer questions. Please feel free to ask any.
Yeah, I'm just wanting to learn more about the DDA. I'm not familiar with it. My son is in the spectrum, but he is very high functioning. So I don't know where that kind of leaves us. I don't know nothing about it. So I'm wanting to get educated.
Okay, well, I can start off with a little eligibility information about the category of autism. We work with people with intellectual disability, autism, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, and we also have a category called another neurological or other condition, which captures people with neurological conditions like a traumatic brain injury, for example, or maybe a premature birth, and also with chromosomal conditions such as Down syndrome and things like that. So to get back to your question about autism, we do work with people with autism, but not everyone that has autism is going to be eligible with us. There's several different criteria. The first one is just that you have that diagnosis. And then there's generally a severity level that is a part of the diagnosis. And we require that the person has a severity level of 2 or 3 in both domains of autism. And then the second criteria is that you have a full scale IQ of 84 or below. And then the third would be your adaptive functioning skills are at a 69 or below, which is generally the level of somebody with intellectual disability and somebody that's going to need our support. So that's a little bit about how you meet criteria under the category of autism. Does that answer any of your questions?
Yeah, it does. How do you find out the levels of your child? How do you know that? I don't know that. So,
well, where was your son diagnosed with autism?
he was diagnosed by, it was privately. She does it, Peggy. She used to work at Essence, I believe.
Okay.
Peggy, I want to say Salisbury, but I'm not sure if that's the correct last name. I do have the report in my binder. I just don't have that binder with me at the moment.
And do you remember about what year he was diagnosed?
I want to say around 2010.
Okay.
It's been a while, but
yeah, so that was he diagnosed with autistic disorder? Do you remember?
He said he was in the autism spectrum.
Okay. So someone who was diagnosed prior to 2013 probably has a diagnosis of either autistic disorder or Asperger's or pervasive developmental disorder, NOS.
He's gonna be more of the Asperger's. So like
Okay.
I said, he's pretty high functioning. I mean, he can take care of a lot of things. He can do a lot of things. He does have an IEP for the cognitive ends, but there are some things he struggles with, but he's pretty capable of doing a lot of things. So
Okay. So yeah, in that case, somebody with Asperger's would not be eligible. However, if you brought him back in to get an updated diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder from the
okay,
DSM-5, then they would assign a severity level to him at that point. But you'd
okay,
have to probably take him in for a reevaluation.
okay, all right. Or do I mean, if I look at my report that I have, will it give me those numbers on it, or?
Well, if it was in 2010 or if it was prior to 2013, it's not going to say anything about a severity level because that wasn't
Okay,
part of the diagnosis. But if by any
okay,
chance it says if his diagnosis is autistic disorder,
uh-huh,
then that is a qualifying diagnosis. So
okay,
if you look at that report and it says autistic disorder, I would say definitely you want to apply because that
okay,
is a qualifying diagnosis.
okay, okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And Kylie, do you want to talk a little bit more about what we do, what you do as a case manager and some of the services?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, assuming that your son goes back to the doctor and gets a proper diagnosis that would make him eligible for our services, um, case managers like myself would come out and meet with you guys, and we do what we call a care assessment or a person-centered service plan. It's basically just that we bring a computer and we ask a ton of questions, and based on how you guys answer those questions, it would qualify your son for a number of different services. And some of what those services look like is community first choice, or what we used to call Medicaid personal care. And again, the computer kicks out a number that we can pay family members or home care agencies to help out around the house, to help out with doctor's appointments, to help out with medications, you name it. And some of the other services that a lot of the clients that I serve are accessing is respite, and that's respite is a break for caregivers, for primary caregivers. And that's especially on Whidbey. A lot of people are accessing the Oak Harbor Parks and Rec. So there's activities that we can pay that they go do. A lot of the clients that I support are accessing employment services. So that's working with a job coach and helping people look for paid work in the community. And yeah, do you have any specific questions about the services that we offer?
No, I was just, I think he's capable of employment, absolutely, but he's not going to be, because he's in the spectrum, he's not going to be, your average person in the employment field. So I would like for him to, be in transitions to help bridge that gap into adulthood.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the transition program, is kind of
Right.
a roadmap to leaving school. And what if
Right.
most adults, when they leave school, they find some kind of a job, and that's and people with Asperger's or people with significant disabilities are able to work in the community with the help of a job coach and the employment vendors.
So are you able to have a job coach if you don't qualify for DDA?
Well, if you don't qualify for DDA, what I would recommend is going through the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. Some people
Okay.
refer to it as DVR. And
Okay.
DVR can be accessed by anybody with a disability or anybody that has barriers to employment. So
Okay.
I would start that route.
Okay.
But the goal is to get long-term services through DDA. So, but if somebody that's pretty independent, they could get that help through DVR as they needed to.
Okay. Okay. Great. That answers my questions. Because I think we're going to do I think a POA is going to be sufficient for him versus guardianship. Because he's, like I said, he's pretty good at it, but he just needs guidance. And, he needs someone to help him along the way when he struggles. So
Also, Mrs. Shields, in our program, one of the requirements is everyone has an internship in the community to learn those job skills prior to seeking employment so that they're
correct.
successful when they actually join the employment field.
Okay.
And our program provides job coaches at those internships in the community for each student.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, hope that helps.
Awesome. Yes,
Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Sure. Mr. Phelps, is there any questions we can answer for you tonight, sir?
Yeah, this is my school account. I'm a senior, so my grandparents are here.
Fantastic.
So
What
I
can
was
we do for you
wondering,
tonight?
when you said something about intellectual, how do you know what percentage your child or IQ is at?
Okay, well, generally the school, whoops, sorry. You ready for me to answer?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
waiting for you.
All right. So generally, the special education program at school, every 3 years, the school psychologist does a evaluation, and part of the evaluation will be a full-scale IQ test. Not always, but in most cases. So that is where you find out what level of IQ your son or grandson has, is through the school.
Okay.
So yeah, your case manager can answer that question, or if you wanted to contact me, I can look that information up as well. I have access to that.
And how do I contact you?
I'm just S. Armstrong at ohsd.net. Is there any other questions we can answer tonight?
Do you have any?
What services does DD? Yeah, what services do you provide? Like, like for
The services you provide at the first level they were talking about, or the second, or the third, when they were saying there were 3 years that you would he would have assistance or training or be included in. What level or what year would you be at for him?
Well, I think, Ms. Phelps, that there's a little bit of overlap there with our program and DDA services. And there is the way we serve students. Our program is a 3-year program for students who enter at 18. However, we have some students who enter when they're a little bit older, depending on where they are in their schooling. We can serve students through June of their 21st year. That last year for students who qualify for DDA is the year that they enroll in the school to work program and work with job coaches in the community from the job coaching agencies to get job placement. For a student, it sounds like you're serving your grandson, that would be done through us and we would provide those services. The job coaching and the assistance with job placement.
And DDA, we're a state agency that you can, if you meet our eligibility criteria, we work with people of all ages. So we could work with you alongside the school. After school is over, we can provide services. So yeah, we are a separate agency than the school.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, no problem. And what kind of services would you be looking for?
Well, right now he's a senior, so I don't know where we're going with this, except that he does have some issues. And so the program sounded really good in that I think there, with help with the counseling and direction of where he's going, because right now we're kind of lost where he's going.
Sure. Are you thinking more school? Are you thinking job right away? Are you thinking job part-time, school part-time? What's it looking like for you?
Yeah, well, I think probably job related
Okay.
would probably be more what he's looking for or wanting.
Fabulous. Yeah. We happily work with students and get them work in the community. We work with, of course, like I said, I think I mentioned earlier, we start with internships to ensure that they have the skills to be successful employees. And then from there, we place them, help them find in the community, and then can assist them with obtaining those jobs and retaining those jobs, which is sometimes a struggle for some of our students. So we make sure that they have the supports in place to do that.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Leslie, if I wanted to, oh, sorry, go ahead, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overlap here. So this starts with the school year as like a normal school year, and if he's, since he wants to be in the program, and is it a full day or partial day, or
Are you referring to the Exceptional Academy?
my question is it just like a regular school day that he would attend these things? And
Yeah, so
is it
the
typically
Exceptional,
like
yeah,
normal school hours?
those are great questions. The Exceptional Academy runs different than your regular school year. We're what we consider post-secondary, meaning they've graduated high school. That's all behind them. We are not academically based. We're strictly vocationally based and focused, as well as independent living skills. So we're not going to sit down and do math assignments. We're not going to have English papers due. Our work is focused on getting them job skills, getting them employability skills, and anything they need to live as independently as they can, and whatever that looks like for them.
You just made Richard feel so much better.
Fantastic. No
When
English
does
papers,
this
I
start?
promise.
When does this start?
We run with a typical school year, so September. Mhm.
Okay, and how about time each day?
So that is actually in process right now. Our program is expanding by leaps and bounds, and so we're looking to what our hours might be next year. We're looking to expand our hours. Right now, we serve two programs, a morning and afternoon program, but with our numbers increasing as they have, we're looking to expand those hours and make them larger individual programs.
Thank you.
Of course. Are there any other questions we can answer for anyone tonight?
I don't think we have any.
Okay. So Leslie, if someone wanted to look into DDA enrollment, what would be the process for that?
Well, there's several ways to get a application. You can go to our website, and I'm trying to remember what that one is right at the moment. I think it's dshs.dd. Oh, hold on. I better look it up. But anyway, you could go to our website and get the application off there, or you can call any of our offices and request that we send you an application, or we email you an application.
I've had success if you just go to Google and you type in DSHS intake and eligibility, it'll take you right to our website, and all of the forms are on the website. And you can explore more of the website. It talks about the services that we provide. And there's also a great website called informingfamilies.org. And some of our services and the process can be complicated, to say the least, and informingfamilies.org does an amazing job at taking kind of a lot of the technical stuff and putting it in layman's terms for clients and families to understand.
They are a wonderful resource, one I highly recommend to my families frequently. They have wonderful information on guardianship, lots of information in general.
Thank you. So the website is, look for DSHS intake and eligibility.
Yep, and it's actually, if you want the exact website, it's dshs.wa.gov, and that should take you there.
DSHS.what?
Wow.
.wa.gov,
Okay. Thank you.
of course. Okay, is there anything else we can assist anybody with tonight?
I think that's fine tonight. Thank you very much for your time.
Of course. And at any time, if you need to contact me for more information, I'm happy to help at any for any questions to follow up. If something strikes you that you forgot to ask tonight, please feel free to give me a holler, and I'm happy to answer any questions I can.
Thank you very much, Miss Armstrong.
Of course, no problem. Yep, we lost Leslie. So Kylie, just so you know, we lost Leslie. I'm not sure what happened there.
The last thing I heard her say was, oops, it seemed like she was
Yep,
gone. So.
and then she was gone. So I don't even see her picture anymore. I don't know what happened. So, all right. Well,
yeah, I would reiterate to anybody listening, informingfamilies.org, great website, and a lot more information. Again, just going to the Google search and typing in DSHS and Developmental Disabilities Administration will take you right to our website. And there's a ton of information on there, but I would say that informingfamilies.org does a better job at explaining our services, and there's lots of resources on their website.
I agree. They have it organized really well too by different age groups, so you can specifically actually the very front page of their website to log in, it's divided up by different age groups, and so you can scroll right down to the age group that you're looking to serve. And the very opening thing on their web page for 14 to 21, which is the age group we're looking at, is this wonderful infographic video of how the transition process works. It's like an 8 to 12 minute video. It's incredibly informative. I recommend it to everyone I can possibly have look at it, because it's a wonderful example of the entire process of transition and everything that needs to happen during that period.
Yeah, the video that we were hoping to show earlier was actually produced by Informing Families. So, yeah, go ahead with the question, sir.
Oh, the A and DDA, what was that?
So DSHS is the umbrella. There's a lot of agencies underneath the Department of Social and Health Services. There's long-term care, there's home and community services. DDA, who Leslie and I work for, is the Developmental Disabilities Administration, or we call it DDA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Social Security.
Hello, this is Leslie. I, for some reason, lost internet, so I am on the phone now, though.
There you are. Welcome back, Leslie. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you very much this evening.
Thank you. Any other questions we can answer before you head off? All right. Thank you so much. All right, Leslie, Kylie, any last minute things you want to add before we sign out tonight?
I guess I would say that I know that getting into services is a pain in the butt. It's a ton of paperwork. It's doctor's appointments. It's IEP meetings. But once you qualify for our services and start accessing them, they follow you for the rest of your life, or they can if you choose to receive the services. And a lot of people fall through the cracks. And so I would just say, please don't let your family member fall through the cracks. If they qualify, this is something that could benefit them for the rest of their lives. And that's literally, our slogan is transforming lives, and that's what we try to do.
Thank you. Leslie, anything you'd like to add?
I just wanted to let people know that if they are interested in applying, they can give me a call at 360-714-5014, and I can email or send out an application and talk to them about what we're looking for.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So you can answer individual eligibility questions if they call you?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I appreciate you both for being here tonight and for all the information you shared with our families. Wonderful information and very important things to pass along. Appreciate your time. Thanks for being here.